Hey tea heads, this is Don and Celine from Mayleaf, and we are finally here. After nearly 10 months of planning, preparation, we finally get to unveil this PuErh tea cake, which is definitely the most involved tea cake that we've ever had.
For everyone, I think.
Yeah, not just for us, but for all of you out there who took part in the Fractal Safari game and competition. Yeah. It's all been leading to this. This has certainly been the tea that we have put the most amount of our sort of time and dedication into. It's a long story, so I'm gonna sort of dedicate an entire video to the behind the scenes of the making of this cake and Fractal Safari. That's a video which I'm planning to do. But today, we get to finally unveil and taste this tea. We're releasing this video on the 25th of December, Christmas. So if you celebrate Christmas, then happy Christmas. If not, then enjoy the festive video anyway. Yeah. And should we just get into this?
Yeah, let's get into it. Let's crack on.
Finally, it's been like sitting there. Even the staff didn't know this cake because we were so sort of concerned about making sure that the competition was locked in, that nobody knew. So it was a very small group of people that know about the artwork of this cake and everything. And finally we get to unveil it. After you, madame.
Ta-da!
Welcome to the Fractal Fate Finder. This is our special Christmas tea cake. This is the follow-up to Psychic Stream Seeker that was released a few years ago.
Beloved Psychic Stream Seeker.
Yeah, much loved, much requested, and that was roasted Gushu Sheng PuErh. As far as I'm aware, I can't think of any other roasted Sheng Gushu PuErhs out there, but there might be, but we haven't heard of any. But this is the long-awaited follow-up and has a lot of meaning for us. You can see the ostrich. For those of you who took part in the game, and there are many of you, and we'll be picking our winners at the end of this video. In fact, last I checked, 501 people have completed the Fractal Safari, so congratulations to each and every one of you. Bravo. You will know that the animal is the ostrich, but you've never seen the ostrich, and this is Celine's drawing, of course, so the ostrich with the fractal, and you may recognize that fractal up there. So all the pieces of the Fractal Safari make up the shape for that fractal up at the top there. And you may also recognize this background because a lot of the marketing that we did was all based upon that background. So we've tried to sort of tie it all together for you to get the satisfaction of this reveal. The fractal reveals itself. The animal reveals itself. This is the Fractal Fate Finder. And this cake here is actually, as you can see, not a round cake, but it's a square cake. Let's open it up and we'll explain our thinking behind it all. So this is a roasted Sheng PuErh tea. Tea cake comes like this, lovingly wrapped by my mother with a special paper, and comes with a limited edition postcard with metallic ink, and has the Fractal Fate Finder. It has the final coordinates of the Fractal Safari and all the cities, all the places that were involved, or the countries that were involved. Here you can see the scope. So this is March 2020. This is a Daye variety. This is from Daheishan, Linsang, so a great area. We love this area. And this is Gushu, so the tea trees are estimated at around 300-year-old. This is a bud and up to 3 to 4 leaves, elevation 1,500 meters. Then this was purchased by us, pressed by us into this format here, and then we have roasted this ourselves in our specially purchased tea roaster, which we imported from China, and we've roasted it to our specifications. So this is our roasted Gushu Sheng PuErh, and you can see that there are 295 cakes, and each one of these is numbered. So this is number 20 of 295 cakes. So we've kept 20 for ourselves in private collection and maybe giveaways in the future. And then 10 were reserved for the winners of the Fractal Safari. So there are 265 available to purchase. Right. Let's talk a little bit about the meaning behind this. I'll put the cover here. And as I said, I'm going to do a video all about it, but Celine, you've heard me talking about this ad nauseum for the past 10 months.
No, it's very well thought through. I mean, I don't even understand how you managed to do that, but Yeah, I'll let you explain because it's...
Well, the idea was that this was being sourced around the same time as COVID was happening, and lots of other things as well. Brexit was on the cards, and also a lot of issues with sort of identity politics. And we sort of had this feeling that people were looking at truth in a very granular, fragmented way. And for me, the fractal sort of represents this. It represents this idea of fragments or pieces, but when you actually look at it, can you turn that off? When you actually look at it, it's a never-ending repeating pattern, and the truth actually exists in the pattern, in the perspective, in looking at the pattern rather than the pieces. In fact, I've written it here. I've written fractals represent the illusion of separation in a natural world of infinite connection. No matter what your perspective, and this is the key here, no matter what your politics or your perspective, the fractal never changes, but just reveals a different appearance of the same pattern with no end and no beginning. 2020 has been a year of great fragmentation as the globe obsessed with defining ourselves by our differences. And we fell victim to a myopic and granular way of solving problems. The Fractal Fate Finder is our beacon, illuminating the interconnected nature of the universe and a reminder to search for truth in patterns rather than pieces.
So, and connection, isn't it?
Yeah, the connection, and the connection of the community as we searched and tried to find these fractals together. Yeah. And the reason why the ostrich... The ostrich, the fable of the ostrich, and it is a myth, is that ostriches bury their heads in the sand. So you've heard that expression, stop burying your head in the sand, to sort of make life easier for yourself so you don't have to confront truths that are uncomfortable, and you sort of avoiding sort of finding that confrontation or avoiding that seeking process. And again, my feeling and our feeling is that the world has been dominated a lot in this year with a sort of a desire to just sort of follow one line of narrative, whatever position you're in. You know, we live in echo boxes where we sort of just all support each other's narrative, and we sort of choose our truth depending on who we identify with. And I think that really the idea is to take your head out of the sand and just absorb and listen and discern all of the opinions and be tolerant to all of the opinions that are out there and find your own truth. And the ostrich here with the fractal above his head, this revelation is all about taking his head out of the sand and finding that truth. So there's a lot of sort of ideas behind it, but we'll talk about that in another video. Really what we want to do today is see what it tastes like.
Yeah.
So we're going to put these away. So each tea comes with its own limited edition postcard, and...
Da-da-da! By the way,
itself.
very eloquently described, considering that it was such a complex idea.
Well, it was built up over many, many months of just trying to work it out, and the safari and everything. But we'll go through that in the other video. Here you go. So you can see this is a 100-gram cake.
It's a chocolate
which
bar.
has been chocolate barred up. And the reason for that is very, very simple. When we did the Psychic Stream Seeker, so our first roast Gushu, we found out through experimentation that a tight compressed cake made a much better even roast. So if you had a very loosely compressed cake, it just sort of like the outer bits got over roasted compared to the inner bits, and so we found that we needed a tight compression. But the problem with that, as a lot of you may know, people who've had Psychic Stream Seeker injuries, I think you had some, didn't you?
I had a few injuries, yes.
Was that the cake, the 100-gram cake, was rock hard, right? Because it was so tightly compressed, and so that knife would very easily slip.
Oh my
right?
God, it was so hard at the tea shop because I was still basically working there. Just doing it in front of customers and just praying that I wasn't gonna stab myself.
Yeah, because it's not
a great first show.
It's like, hey, try some pu'er tea.
Bam.
So we recognised that was a problem, the round surface of the cake and the smooth edges. So what we decided to do was make it into breakable pieces, so you can just snap off a piece. Very, very easy.
Sounds easy enough.
However, these are still very tightly compressed. So what we recommend is that you do break the leaf, break this down, each square down a little bit. You can just pop that in straight into a Gaiwan and start brewing, but it's going to take ages. I mean, like, you're going to be brewing the whole day,
a long time,
and it's still not going to be fully opened up. So you can do that, and you'll get very, like, hundreds of but lots of instructions.
No, literally hundreds of infusions.
Yeah, but they'll be much lighter.
Yeah.
And it's still not going to open up completely. So this is the experimentation that we've been doing with roasting. It has to be tightly compressed. So this is the way that we do it. So
yes,
you can take a look at these leaves. You can see that it's been roasted, so it's definitely got a darker, more sort of tarnished look to it. It's got like brown, like what color would you say? Sort of amphibious, like seals and
actually seal is a good one because there's a little bit of like oiliness coming
exactly through. That compression plus I think the bake just sort of brings out the gloss in the tea a little bit more as well. And the smell is just amazing.
Smell.
The smell is pretty special. So you can snap off a piece like this. So it's actually pretty easy to break off a piece. But as I said, this now is rock hard. So what we're going to do is we're just going to put this away. And we've got a pestle and mortar here. And I'm not expecting people to go crazy and like break it down into powder. But just a couple of whacks with a pestle and mortar or something heavy. Does definitely make it much easier for the water to start to penetrate those leaves and get more of a sort of substantial brew.
Do you want me to do it?
Do it.
Do it. Oh, sorry.
Take your aggression out on that.
Yeah, my frustrations of life at the moment. It's funny though, every time I talk to my friends about everything that's happening, I just end up kind of laughing at the same time because I'm just always kind of feel like I'm repeating myself and I'm so frustrated that I just kind of end up going, oh god, this is so ridiculous. Anyway, I've flicked myself with the tea. Yeah, that's good. Basically, good. 3 bangs, you're good. So let's
just put it on this white balance thing.
Yeah.
So you can see.
And if you're worried that this is like too fine, don't be.
Don't worry. This is smooth.
Trust.
Smooth.
Trust
the roast has done its job. So you can then break it down. So this is sort of what we recommend. You can do a bit less, you can do a bit more, and you'll see that it still opens up as a leaf. Do we have a scoop somewhere? I didn't bring one. Okay. No worries, don't worry.
Oh, and quick thing, I just hit it straight on the square like 3 times. It doesn't look like it's coming apart, but then you just use your hands. And it's fine.
Yeah. So don't overdo it and then find that you've just got powder.
Yeah, you don't need to.
Oh, this was
unless you really want that hardcore heat of tea.
Okay. All right. So let's warm up the Gaiwan.
Yes. Wait. Oh.
We've got it was hot, so it's fine.
Okay.
We've got the Gong Forever Gaiwan, and you can turn the cap on again.
Yeah, doing that.
So 15 of these, and the cake is 100 grams. So what does that make it in terms of maths?
Oh no! I hate it when he does that.
It's about 7 grams. It's about 7 grams, just under 7 grams.
I literally didn't even listen to your numbers. I was like, oh great, now I'm definitely not going to know what to answer to that.
So it's perfect for like 100 to 150 ml Gaiwan. Okay. I'm getting double dousings here.
Yeah, I was like, why are the 2 pets there?
Festive,
but
innit?
Why not?
Why not?
But why not?
Okay. So we have obviously done some test roasts on this. We've come up with our final parameters, but this is the first time that we're tasting it after it's been rested for a while, and we can do our 10-step tasting. So these go in here. Fractal Fate Finder. Okay, go for it.
Thank you.
Fractal Fate Finder. Roasted Sheng Gushu PuErh from Dahe-shan up in Linsang area of Yunnan province. We specifically were searching for the raw material, the malcha, that we felt would work with the roast. So this was all planned from selecting the malcha. We were selecting which is going to be our roasted tea. I didn't at that time know exactly that it was going to become this elaborate, story behind the cake, but I kind of felt that it was going to be our sort of Christmas release. Okay, what are you getting?
Well, the obvious note that I get straight away is this caramel note, but I think it's more like a beurre noisette, you know, kind of.
Yeah. So sort of dark butter.
But caramelly. But then
so nutty caramel, the roast presenting itself.
And as I was about to pass it to you, it reminded me of something else, but I don't know if I should say it.
Let's say it.
Outdoor grown cannabis.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it's got that sort of the dried herbaceous, outdoor grown.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it definitely has that sort of outdoor grown scentsy smell. It's also got like a blood orange acidity.
Oh my gosh,
I would say like a...
Yes.
But like almost like... You know how sometimes you get charred lemons? Like if you get lemon and you put it on a grill and you get that charred line, and then when you squeeze that lemon juice, it just has that extra nuttiness.
That's so spot on.
And char. So this reminds me of sort of like a charred blood orange caramel beurre noisette. Definitely that funky skunky stuff, but not so sort of hardcore like indoor grown. It's very sort of like it's just gotten the sun.
Yeah, it's got a bit more of that fresh air kind of smell to it.
Yeah, like it's been naturally grown.
Yeah.
It almost has a sort of that beurre noisette has a sort of almond note to it, like almond caramel. And there is a sort of like, you know how I guess cannabis and sage can have crossover between sage and cannabis.
Yeah, definitely. It's almost like cannabis that's been left to dry in the sun.
Yeah, it's definitely got that sun. So yeah. Sun is like PuErh, sun-dried PuErh, sun-dried weed. All right, let's have a sniff. Let's get some water on here. Let's have a smell of those wet leaves. I am going to go through a filter because obviously
because we hammered it,
because if you break it down, there's going to be a little bit too much of the tea dust there. Okay, go for it.
Can the tea pets have the rinse?
Sure, go.
Little tea pets, you deserve it.
Okay, here you go. Cat. An elephant. The smells coming off this like already is just... It's such a potent smell, and the smell, because we roast it in the studio, so the smell in this studio still has leftover smell from that roasting.
Yeah.
So I'm very
sorry,
used to
but that smell is just so addictive.
It's unlike any other smell. Roasted Sheng PuErh.
It's delicious smelling. I mean, Psych Extreme had a similar smell to it, but this one smells more on the creamy and almost like a fruitier note to it.
Creamy and fruity.
Yeah.
Okay, but yeah, I know what you mean.
One of those things that I like.
It's a mix of that sort of beurre noisette nuttiness, some cream is not. I would say more butteriness. And what fruit is it? Which fruit? It's quite bright fruit. It's quite sweet, quite bright.
It's like I say that tasting it so much, but grenadine, it like reminds me of
blackcurrant.
That kind of syrupy, quite deep, like berry note.
Yeah, some sort of very concentrated. So yeah, blackcurrants. I would even say there's a sort of apple cider note to it. Not vinegar, just apple cider. Fruit,
true.
Like so, apples, blackcurrants, and butter, burnt butter, and like I'm even getting like a sort of so that charred blood orange note, sort of I don't know. It's like maybe a bit sweeter now. Like it sounds a bit weird, but like charred tomatoes, but very sweet tomatoes. You know. Cue everyone laughing at the way I say tomatoes in the US.
That's the right way to say it.
No, don't get in. Don't go there. So tomatoes, blackcurrants. What did we say? Apple cider, beurre noisette,
and tomato.
Yeah, but charred. Yeah,
that's true.
Like
you
cooked.
know,
grilled.
Yeah.
Okay, what temperature are we at?
92.
Let's go up a little bit.
Oh.
Go to 95.
Oh.
Oh, the smell is very addictive.
Yeah, it's so addictive.
It's still got a little bit of that cannabis twang to it, like
100%.
that spiciness to it. The act of roasting just does so many different things. Not only does it concentrate existing flavors, but of course it creates all of these new flavors through the Maillard reactions and all of the different chemical reactions that are going on.
It's so crazy
with heat.
how it changes it.
Now, in terms of how it will age, I think that it's unlikely to have the same aging potential as unroasted tea. It's very unlikely because a lot of the activity will be deactivated by the heat. But you're buying this for tasting it, tasting this roasted taste a bit more. It's just on repeat.
Burn my fingers. Yes, please.
Okay,
I won't burn my fingers.
Are you going to pour it?
Yeah.
Okay, wait for a bit.
Make it strong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we've got these little cups here. Okay, you can pour it.
Cool.
Little, it's not really clay, it's a clay sort of glaze on the outside and porcelain white on the inside. Nice, you can see the colour of the liquor.
True.
Does it work with the stems? Yeah, of course it does. It would for this one. It's sort of designed for that. Okay.
It works with a lot of cups actually,
Yeah.
that stem.
Oh, okay. Colour.
That is
look at the
honey colour.
Yeah. Sort of honeyed whiskey colour.
Yeah.
Sort of an orange yellow. It's got a nice consistency and thickness, it looks like, to it.
Yeah, pretty thick.
Let's have a taste.
Yeah.
So, cheers everybody.
Cheers,
Fractal
everyone.
Fate Finder. A marker to I don't want to say souvenir because a lot of people don't want to remember 2020, but at least to mark the occasion of what a crazy year this has been, but hopefully bring some new hope and new perspective to 2021. Cheers.
Cheers.
Texture. Oh, it's hard not to concentrate and taste, but well, go ahead. What's the texture?
All I get is beurre noisette. That's the first thing I get. Sorry. Texture. Super oily, super thick, super smooth.
Very smooth.
Super.
Thick, oily, smooth, that pretty much covers it. But what's interesting is that you've got this very velvety, smooth, luxurious liquor in terms of texture, but the flavour is very, very punchy.
Oh my gosh.
It's got that beurre noisette, yeah.
Big time.
It's
got... Yeah, it's like that baked biscuit.
Yeah, dark baked biscuits.
Yeah.
I'm getting honeycomb, like dark honeycomb.
Big time.
So caramelized sugars for sure are very high up there. Ooh, it's got an instant active sensation in my stomach as well.
Hit me.
Oh.
Oh man.
And the juiciness is sweet to fruity.
It changes quite quickly, but in the sweet tones, you know, it just stays in that sweet field.
But like what?
Arena.
Which kinds of sweets?
I get a little bit of icing sugar, but then it changes to more of the caramel that's been overcooked a little bit. And then I get that beurre noisette that's like lingering throughout this whole thing, you know? It's delicious.
But I'm also getting fruit from this. Like orange marmalade.
Do you get cranberries?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Sort of
like
Christmassy cranberries and orange, those sort of fruits. The marmalade with the zest in there, so it's got that little pithy bitterness that's happening that comes from that roast and also from the tea. So we always pick tea which has more punch because we know the roast is going to sort of it's going to add its own elements, but it's also going to dial down a little bit of that edginess. So we want something that starts with a lot of edginess. That's why Psychic Stream Seeker was Lao Man before. But this Dahe Shan is a great has had a lot of impact on the Mao Cha.
Wow.
Whoa.
I get such nice zinginess in my mouth.
Yeah.
Wow. That taste lingers.
Oh, super lingering, yeah. And very, very fruity. The finish has sort of got a tingly again, sort of cooked sugars, treacles, that sort of.
I'm like, let's hit it again.
Let's go for it. That sort of arena. Put a bit more in.
I'm such a scaredy cat.
Well, I'm doing the pouring, okay? Just put more water in.
No, I like pouring.
Yeah, very zesty and tingly on the finish. Cranberries is a good one. Orange marmalade. So, yeah.
I do get a little bit of like, I guess that's similar to orange marmalade.
Pour it, okay, because...
Oh yeah, I forgot. Orange peel, but like candied orange peel.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it's because I had panettone recently.
Yeah, well, it has that sort of note to it, and that burnt, or that very dark edge of a panettone as well. Or sometimes you get those little raisins that have just caught a little bit. So it's got that intrigue, that interest of that little bit of a charred note to it, but it's very, very much sort of creates the whole of this. So you're getting the fruits, you're getting the sweets, you're getting the sugars, and then you're getting that lovely sort of deep caramel char to it.
Oh my god, I feel like there's so many tasting notes in this that I'm just not quite getting, but it's there. It's really frustrating me.
Well, it's very densely layered tasting notes.
Yes, so densely layered. Like I get so many, I don't know, memories like popping up in my brain.
It even has a sort of alpine fresh note to it.
Yes.
In terms of an airiness in the finish.
Yes.
So whilst it is quite rich and intense in terms of its compact sort of flavour profile of deeply concentrated roasted flavours, you also get a bright light airiness towards the finish, which is unexpected.
Yeah, it's like when you said forest, because I was visualising being in the south.
As always.
As always. But what there's sea there's forest, you know, I can't help it.
Yeah.
But that foresty bit, it reminded me of that, whilst I'm eating some kind of dessert, maybe a crepe.
Oh, like crepe Suzette. So sort of that crepe, crepe Suzette with that marmalade.
Yeah.
And that Cointreau. It's Cointreau, isn't it?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
Or is it Grand Marnier? I think it's Grand Marnier, actually. I don't know. One of those sort of orangey liquors to it.
Yeah. And it's a little bit like dark, you know, it's not like a white kind of crepe. Why am I saying crepe? Pancake. It's got a little bit of char to it.
Yeah, it's deep, it's dark,
Yeah.
Oh. Minerals coming through as well. Like it's, and I think that that gives it a sort of a textural chewiness in the mouth. It has that sort of juicy. The juiciness, I would say, is sort of treacly, as I said before.
Oh, like,
you know.
Yeah, definitely treacly.
Yeah.
Still that nice orangey zesty that's coming through, like. Yeah. Moving to like a...
But again, like baked oranges. It's not like fresh.
Yeah.
It has a baked orange, charred orange
it's like
note
a sweeter side of it. Because when you bake an orange, it's so sweet.
And it's sort of, I don't know, like the very sort of citrus oils sort of dissipate and you get more of the sweetness left behind.
Exactly.
Oh, the smell. This reminds me of sponge pudding. You know how when you have sponge pudding and you put a little bit of bicarb of soda in to make it rise, or baking powder, it has a particular sort of smell to it, that sponge pudding.
Sorry, but I love sponge pudding and that smells exactly like sponge pudding.
Yes, treacle sponge pudding or sticky toffee pudding.
Yes.
Date sponge pudding. It's a sticky toffee pudding or a treacle sponge pudding.
Date sponge pudding?
Well, sticky toffee normally has dates in, doesn't it?
Oh, that's true.
Oh, that is a great smell.
Yeah.
It's still got a little bit of those sort of candied peels to it. So very, very festive. Sort of like steamed, warm, like comforting, cold outside. You make yourself a steamed sort of classic British sticky toffee pudding with sort of a bit of candied peel, or think of panettone. Think of all of those sort of notes to it. Ooh.
Oh. We've come out with quite a lot of different Christmassy teas this year.
Yeah, I know. It's
Oh,
it's always interesting to figure out, like, is it just because we're tasting those things recently that we get those tasting notes? But I don't think so.
I think maybe partly, but no, because I came up with the French, South of France note. That's not Christmassy.
Yeah, that's true.
So
then that's just your go-to because it's your childhood.
It's where I went every year.
Every year, yeah, exactly. You associate that with heightened senses as you were on holiday.
The only place I knew.
So again, that little light whiskey colour.
Yeah.
Right, we need to start thinking about picking winners. I mean, we know the top 10 winners of the Fractal Safari.
That literally left my brain. I was just like, cool, drinking tea. Let's do this.
So the first people, the first 10 people to have gotten the right answer, which was Ostrich, of course, will win a free tea cake, free Fractal Fate Finder tea cake, and one person out of that 10 will be winning every single tea cake release of 2021. I'm going to bring up the list now, actually, of names while you keep drinking your tea.
You guys that worked it out so fast deserve it, man. I was like, that was not an easy game.
It was very difficult.
Like, boom,
yeah,
done.
It was very difficult to work out the right difficulty level because we wanted it to be easy enough that everybody could take part, but difficult enough that it would be a challenge for everybody. So it was always difficult. But I have to say that the first person to get it after the clue drop, after the Fractal clue drop, got it within, I can see right now, 2 minutes and 3 seconds. 2 minutes and 3 seconds after the clue drop.
Oh my gosh.
And this person is Natasha Valerie. So congratulations, Natasha, for finding the clue before anybody else.
That's
or finding the answer before anyone else. Dropping that man in and finding that picture. It was a challenge. It was a bit tricksy with those little blue dots. So you managed to do it. So here are the names of everybody who are in the top 10. Conrad Obermann, Natasha Valerie, Harry Bukoke, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing your names wrong, Amir Deutsch, Alba Bossoms Meza. Wow, we're getting some funky names. Love it.
Whoa.
William De Vial, Peter Otreba and Rafal Otreba. So 2 people, brothers, relatives. Yeah, we didn't say that was not possible.
No,
so
it's true. I mean, it's actually quite clever.
Anthony Raymond and Blake Prayon. So Blake was the last person in the top 10 and he got it in 4 minutes and 49 seconds. So between 2 minutes and 3 seconds to 4 minutes and 49 seconds, I have to say that Conrad Obermann and his partner Beth, I believe, actually managed to solve this clue before the clue drop with some madness on their part. Purely guessing coordinates and doing some crazy stuff.
Mind blowing.
So we've allowed that one because, well, they managed to do it. They managed to do something that I didn't think would be possible, but they managed to do it. So we have the top 10. Conrad, Natasha, Harry, Amir, Alba, William, Peter or Piotr, Rafal, Anthony, and Blake. Right, so now we need to select our winner. So all of you are receiving a free Fractal Fate Finder cake. We'll be obviously emailing you, but we now need to pick the winner.
Oh my God.
And that means I need to get up a random generator here. Random number generator between 1 and 10. I'm going to show this camera here so you can see. That currently says number 2 on it, but that's just because it's just loaded up.
Oh.
Right.
Let me take my cup.
And let me just click this roll button. This doesn't count. This does not count. But just to show you that it's going to pick random numbers, right? Every time I push it. Right, so that's testing. So the next time I push it, that's the winner. So number 1, Conrad. Number 2, Natasha. Number 3, Harry. Number 4, Amir. Number 5, Alba. Number 6, William. Number 7, Peter, I think that is. 8, Rafal. 9, Anthony. And 10 is Blake. Here we go. This is it. Once only. Don't mess up.
Who's going to win?
Oh, it's gone. Hold on. I clicked on an advert. Here we go. This is it. Can you see it?
Okay, drum roll.
Go. Number 10. Blake Prayon. Blake Prayon, congratulations. You have just won every single tea cake release of 2021, and I'll say right now, we already have a couple of those
Yes, we do.
being made for us, so we know you're in for some
Treat.
spectacular teas that are coming. Yeah, I'm not going to say anymore, but we know you've got some great teas coming.
Yeah.
So Blake, congratulations to you. And thank you to absolutely everybody who took part in the Fractal Safari game. As I said, 501 people, when I last looked at, an hour ago, had finished the game. Not taken part, had finished the game. So there'd be plenty more who took part. So congratulations to each and every one of you. I hope that it was a challenging but hopefully satisfying game that you enjoyed once you got the answers. I know there was a lot of infuriated typing and trying to work it out, but once you get them, that's when the satisfaction comes, hopefully. So, cheers. Everybody.
And bring more tea so we can cheers all of you people managed to grab one of the delicious cakes, first of all.
Yeah, those top 10.
And obviously Blake for winning all those cakes.
Blake Prayon, well done.
Congratulations. Let's drink another cup.
I'm already starting to feel, after a few infusions, quite an intense feeling.
Agreed.
Psychic Stream Seeker was very heating tea. I think this is heating, but less intense, less of sort of this volcanic rush of heat.
Yeah.
But it still is definitely a heat-giving tea. Should we? Let's drink this and roll through a few infusions, and we'll come back and then we'll talk about the body sensation, because I think a lot of people will want to know.
Yes.
So we'll be back after about 5 or 6 infusions. Infusion number 6. I think we've drunk enough of this in quite a short period of time to be able to give you a pretty accurate body sensation on this.
Like,
how are you feeling?
Shot.
Yeah. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling really good. I have to say, like, compared to Psychic Stream Seeker was much more like a fast and furious and heating tea. This is heating, but it's much more on the, like, hot yoga high.
Yeah.
The hot yoga
It's got
feeling.
that high feeling, that high feeling which is sort of very deep.
Yeah.
Slightly meditative. I think you're right. I feel like I've just walked out of a yoga session. Very, very much, which is great because it's sort of the whole meaning of the tea, isn't it?
Yeah, it fits so well with the artwork,
it's
actually.
Just tick. It sort of doesn't make me feel like giddy high, like excited.
Yeah.
It makes me feel like quite settled, like I've done some exercise and I feel like that that sort of slightly euphoric endorphin rush, but like I've done some meditating. I was going
to say, like an added meditation.
Yeah, it feels very meditative, very deep, very meditative.
I can hear.
Yes, it is sort of a high feeling, but the high feeling is more like a sort of awakened sort of feeling rather than a sort of like I'm evaporating out of my head feeling. It feels more like it feels more. Yes, I'm here. I'm very present.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit heady, a bit high.
Yeah.
But with a certain clarity and sort of depth and meditation to it. Hot yoga, I think, is the best example. Sort of like if you've done hot yoga, that when sort of the class is finished and you're sort of lying on the mat, or when you've just sort of walked out after your sort of shower and you're just feeling that glow and that sort of feeling of being very sort of present and clear.
It makes me think so much of Lucy.
Yeah, I think Lucy would like this one.
Yeah, if you're watching this is something you've got to try.
I definitely think that this is a tea that, clearly it's 15 pieces, so you're going to have to, choose your moments wisely of when you're going to be brewing them. It's not going to be something you're going to break out every day, but if you want a tea which is going to just bring you to a place of sort of a fulcrum around which perspectives can follow, or like a pivot point around which you can sort of get new perspectives and have a bit of depth and clarity, then this is definitely a tea to pull out of the bag. So there you go. Fractal Fate Finder finally has been released. I hope that everybody who manages to pick it up enjoys it, and I hope that this tea brings new energy and new sort of perspectives to 2021.
You know what? That just made me think this is perfect tea for tonight, because I'm doing this meditation, like it's a mass group meditation.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's happening around the world of like bringing positivity and good change for next year. Maybe some of you are doing it too, but yeah, this is perfect to do.
We'll save it up, and you can have a few sips before your meditation session. But we're gonna raise a glass now to everyone out there. Merry Christmas if you celebrate Christmas. Happy festivities. Whenever you're watching this, celebrate anyway.
Exactly.
Here's to you. Here's to the tea community. And wishing you all the best for 2021.
All positive vibes.
Cheers, everybody. That's it, tea heads. Check out our other videos. Taste our teas wherever you are in the world by browsing mayleaf.com, and come visit us if you're ever in London. Other than that, this is Celine. I'm Don from Mayleaf. Thank you for being a part of the revelation of true tea. Stay away from those tea bags. Keep drinking the supreme stuff and spread the word, because nobody deserves bad tea. Bye.